How does a good note deal keep getting better? Stay tuned. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Yes, it is 2025. Hope all of you had a great New Year. We've got a great show for you today. And as usual, we have an amazing guest. So a couple of housekeeping items. Number one, just please make sure and like this episode and share it with all of your friends and associates. And number two, subscribe to the NoteSchool TV channel so you'll be able to look at all the episodes of NoteSchool TV. This is episode 220. Yep, we've been doing this a while. And number three, make sure and hit that bell notification bing so you'll know when we go live every week. So with that, I want to bring on, our fearless leader, chief visionary officer, founder of NoteSchool, Mr. Eddie Speed.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning and Happy New Year, sir.
Happy New Year to you. We are starting out with a bang, right?
Yes, we are. We're excited. 2025, Eddie, we'll just go with the old saying about the future's so bright, we're going to all have to wear shades, right?
Well, I do think that the runway for the note industry this year looks very good. We have been watching it closely, and I think it's a truth. This case study that we're going to see today is a reflection of deals that we're seeing in the marketplace on really a daily basis. And so I think it's a good example. And as you said, it not only is a good deal, just some circumstances of it just keep making it get better and better, right?
For sure.
So we have a guest today, Joe.
We do.
And our guest today is a NoteSchool member. He lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but he has bought a note, and he's going to come. We're going to physically show the slides. This is a case study award-winning scenario, right?
It is. Yeah, he got to get on the stage at Note Expo with about 500 people watching him and present this deal. So, yeah, it's great little performing loan deal.
That's great. So you guys welcome Mr. Wayne Garrett.
Hey, Eddie. Hey, Joe. How are you guys doing today?
We're awesome. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well.
For sure.
All right, so I'm gonna run the slides here for us, and this is the same deal, the same case study that you got to do in front of Note Expo. So we have a contest every year in NoteSchool, and I always say, Wayne, it isn't necessarily the deal that had to go make $500,000 that wins. Sometimes it's just the deal that wins just shows the bread and butter deal, and it can get better and better, right, Wayne?
Definitely, for sure. As we unfold this deal, you'll see that happen. And this was one of my first deals that I did, Eddie, and it really kind of set the runway and set a lot of things in place for me as I started to build my note portfolio.
That's awesome. All right. So I always say it starts out with a good piece of property. And this is a working class piece of property, but this is a property in Dallas. And you bought the note on this, right, Wayne?
Yes, I did.
So you bought the first mortgage on this house. The house was worth $110, and it was a 3-1 house. It wasn't a super big house. And I'll just kind of go through here, Wayne, and let you kind of tell us a little bit of just some deal points.
Yeah. So as we see, I purchased this back in January of 2021. As we established, the neighborhood was very solid. It had a strong BPO. The pay history was really good. After I reviewed that, the borrower was solid. It had 24 months of seasoning, which was great. And one thing that was a hidden part that really didn't reveal itself until after I bought the note was they had been paying and really accelerated in making payments every month, extra payments.
They weren't just making their mortgage payment. They were doubling up, and even more than doubling up.
Yeah.
Yes. And I had no idea when I first started this journey, Eddie, just how powerful something like that could be.
Well, you know what, Wayne, if I'm looking here at a checklist, just a blueprint, you're an engineer by trade, right?
Yes.
You got a pretty good checklist here: neighborhood, BPO, pay history, strong buyer, pay history. Boom! Right there's your checklist.
Yeah.
Right. And
I wish I could buy 20 more just like it.
Yeah. Well, and I believe this year we will, Wayne.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about it was originated. I've got some of the terms here. Talk about that just for a second, Wayne.
All right. So it was originated, like we said, back in January of 2019. The loan amount was $101,900. The interest rate was 8.5. So it was a good, solid interest rate written for 30 years. And it had a nice monthly payment of $784.
Yeah.
Very solid note, just all the way around. Even if this note just paid as amortized, it's a solid note.
Yeah.
But they're paying more than that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's
I'm stealing a little thunder, but I want people to know that sometimes you look at that and you say, that's okay. When I think they see what really then has happened and what the history of this note is, you start realizing what can happen. Right. All right. So here's the information on this. Is when you bought it. Right.
Yep. So I bought it at a good price, $90,000, which was a good price. And it still had 239 payments left on it.
Let's not confuse the issue here real quick, Wayne, because if we look at this, it was a 30-year loan, but they had been paying so much extra. It had already paid down almost $12,000, and the number of payments remaining had gone from 360 down to 239 if they had just paid the $784 a month, again indicating they had been paying extra every month.
Yeah, right. They sawed off 10 years off their principal in a couple of years.
2 years, yeah.
Right. And you bought this note at a discount. Now the loan balance was 90, but you paid 82,775.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. All right. So here was the BPO, the broker price opinion. So you were at about 75% of what the property was worth. You were at 75% investment to value. So you had a cushion of 25% above what you paid for the note. God forbid something happened to the collateral.
Right. Which is a great position to be in. That's what you teach in class. That's a spot where we want to be if we can.
That's it. All right. So Wayne, this is what they're supposed to pay every month, right?
Exactly.
Right. But something's happens. This reflects what they're supposed to pay, but in reality, Wayne, they were paying more than that when you bought it. And guess what they continued to do?
They continued to pay more than that.
And so now all of a sudden, the remaining term on this note, what?
Yeah.
Really
you're going to get your money back plus the discount plus the yield way compressed, which means your yield goes way up. So now all of a sudden you were going to get a decent yield. Now you're going to get an incredible yield.
Yes.
This loan pays back early at $3,800 a month. They're supposed to pay $785, but that's not the reality.
Not the reality.
Not to mention the velocity of the cash flow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the velocity of the cash flow, Eddie, is really what allowed me to be able to buy my next note sooner.
Yeah.
And then allowed me to start being able to stack P&I payments. I didn't realize how powerful that was. One note's great, but 5 notes are even better. And as you stack those P&I payments, then that time frame to buy your next note gets shorter and shorter and shorter.
Well, now all of a sudden you're getting, instead of getting close to about $10,000 a year in payments, you're getting over $40,000 a year in payments. And now all of a sudden it doesn't take very long. Now you lumped up some more money. You can go out and put it out on the next deal, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Now, Wayne, was this an I-10 borrower? Is this a Spanish borrower?
It was.
Yeah.
It was. This was
You
a
see this
Hispanic
time and
family
time
that did
again, right, Eddie?
construction and
Yeah, if you talk to people that have a lot of experience, particularly with Hispanic borrowers and particularly people with their green card, like they're here legally,
Right.
but they have a green card, right? They're an ITIN buyer, right?
Penalty box buyer.
And so the reality is that buyer, this is not uncommon. Like those of us that have been doing this for decades, we're like, yeah, he's an ITIN buyer, right? ITIN, right? We call them
individual
ITIN,
tax
right?
income number. Yeah.
And so this doesn't shock us. And I would say that, Wayne, this experience, although phenomenal, is not we wouldn't even say it's necessarily that odd.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That makes sense.
And good for them, right?
Absolutely.
They're going to experience home ownership with seller financing and no other way they'd ever be able to buy a home.
That's right.
Right.
Good for them.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't surprise me if they turned right around and bought another house for another family member too.
That's exactly what we see.
Roses in the flower bed, we call it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That not only do they have real equity in the property, but they have emotional equity in the property. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's awesome, Wayne. Congratulations on that. Let's tally up some math here. So you bought the note. You've gotten 26 payments so far. Is that correct?
Right. That's correct.
So for 82,000 in a short period of time, you get back 106. And Wayne, I know you're really good on a calculator, but I'm going to tell you a little secret. That's going to make your yield call it out of sight.
Right.
Yeah. That's
right?
just a tick over $1,000 a month in cash coming in, right? In profit coming in, right?
Yeah. I mean, you make $1,000 interest on your investment per month.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's pretty crazy math, Wayne.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. And I would love to be able to easily find those notes, but you never know who is going to be that type of borrower that's going to pay at that rate.
Wayne, can I tell you something?
Yes.
We fish in that pond.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I work with real estate investors that create these kind of notes on a recurring basis.
Mm-hmm.
We fish in that pond. And so when you fish in that pond, you might catch a big fish.
Mm-hmm.
It's the kind of fish you're looking for.
Right.
And so a lot of that is what we try to do at Note School is to create the environment. And you help us you also kind of sideline help us in that area, right?
Right.
So you run a little campaign that we participate and do because you've been in Note School a long time and we have a trusted relationship. But think about it, Wayne, we're fishing in the pond that creates the opportunity to the most likely chance that kind of scenario of that kind of paper shows up.
That's it.
So
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So we're setting the stage for a repeatable environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we think seller financing is overlooked in the marketplace. And we're trying to work with real estate investors to help them make the best notes they can make. And we are very prone to say we like I-10 buyers, right? We're very prone to say that. So, Wayne, we are so absolutely honored to have the opportunity to see you really shine and man, and you got on the big stage at Note Expo and got to tell your story. And we call it, I think you consider yourself just a regular guy, right, Wayne?
I do.
You're just an ordinary guy doing extraordinary stuff because I think that the note environment is the right environment. And as banking gets tougher and as mortgage companies get tighter and as all of these environments are brewing, people are going to need things like creative financing and seller financing, and they're creating inventory of notes for us to go buy that makes it better and better in the marketplace. But it is so awesome to see a real deal. There's two things that really do my heart great. First and foremost is this couple, these green card people that are living here legally, right?
Right.
They're gonna own that house, right? That means the world to me. And secondly, Wayne, in fact, I'll tell you a little secret, Wayne. I bet the Seller Finance Coalition would like to have a testimonial from them of what seller financing did for them.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
And secondly, it does my heart good to see that you bought a deal that would have been a good deal. And just as it unfolded, it turned out to be a great deal with pretty phenomenal interest earned in a short period of time, kicking your yield way out of sight on this.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good, Wayne. Very good.
What would you say? You get a vantage point. You see other Note School members and stuff. Would you rather do this or have rent houses?
Well, Eddie, I've told my story a few times to you, and you know my opinion of the rent houses. The rent houses, I never could get those to pencil out as an engineer. I've got too much analytics in my mind. I couldn't make that pencil out.
Yeah.
But the notes are phenomenal. The note environment, and you're never going to get. Look at a rent house. Who's going to pay you triple or quadruple your rent payment?
Exactly.
Nobody's going to do that. You're going to get paid exactly what you're owed, not a penny more.
And no headaches.
Well,
and no headaches.
And rent houses have expenses against them. And this note, you're just the landlord. And I mean, you're just the bank. You're not a landlord. You don't pay their taxes and insurance, right?
This type of situation that I experience can never happen with a rent house. It's physically impossible. That's
great. Wayne, congratulations, sir. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
We are looking forward to a big year and hanging out with you at Note School, just continuing to find the next deals that look like those, right?
Exactly. Very excited. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Joe.
Joe, I'm going to let you close us out, sir.
Very good. Just one additional thing here. Guys, I know that most of you, many of you, made your New Year's resolutions, and I certainly hope that included going to a Note School 2-day class, one of our 2-day boot camps. So we'd love to have you attend this year. So if you'd love to do that, just simply go to noteschool.com/TV. Again, noteschool.com/TV. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks. And again, Happy New Year.